Yo, what up, G's? We're playing some Call of Duty today. Got a bit of a different video, but I just want to talk about life. Hope you guys are doing well. Now, if I absolutely get fried today, don't roast me in the comments. We're doing live commentary. Not something we usually do. But I just want to start the video off with this. The life you're living is the life you're choosing to live, you know? And if you're not happy with your life currently, well, you have made the decisions every day from when you wake up to the job you're going to, whatever school you've done, etc., to your current physique, you know, the foods you ate, how much you lift, etc., how much you doom scroll. You know, effectively, the life you're living now is the life you have built for yourself. And it's a very harsh reality that kind of hurts to accept, because if you're living a good life now, you're like, fuck yeah, you know, your ego is big. You're like, I built a great life. I'm the fucking man. But for, I would say 90% of people watching this, most people aren't happy with their lives. And again, who's to blame for that? Now, yeah, you can be maybe upset with like your parents. Like, yeah, you know, my parents growing up, they pressured me into honors classes, into AP, into sports. They pressured me into XYZ. But again, you were the one that went with all that. And as a kid, yeah, you are sort of subject to the, I don't want to say the torment of your parents. Also, I hope the volume's not too loud. Let me just lower that down a bit for you guys. Sorry. As a kid, though, like, yeah, you are sort of subject to the torment of your parent up until you're like 18. You know, maybe like when you're college age, you kind of go off on your own. You know, that's kind of when you first sort of get your real freedom in life. But let's break it down more. So what is it that you guys really want out of life? Like, okay, so assuming you had the perfect life right now, what would that look like to you? Like, when do you wake up every day? When do you go to bed? What are you doing each day? Like, what is fun to you? You know, do you have a family? Are you married? Are you a fuck boy? Are you going to the gym? Are you ripped? Are you traveling? Are you building, you know, a business? What is it that your life looks like? And really think about this to the exact detail. And this is the area most people get stuck with, is they start thinking of their dream life and they're like, okay, well, yeah, I want, you know, like maybe a 4 or 5 bedroom house. I want to live in this area. But then they start thinking of the price of these things and they start to get in their head and they start to talk them out of the exact goals that they have set for themselves. So my first advice to you guys would be, listen, you know, just think about what it is you truly want out of life. Like, what does your family look like? How much money are you making a month? What do your investments look like? What is your income like? What does your team look like? What does your network look like? What does your friend group look like? Like, really just envision your day to day, your week to week, your month to month, your perfect ideal scenario. Now, reminder, listen to what I just said. Doubt's going to creep in. You're going to talk yourself out of some of these things. You'll be like, oh, you know, but that house is, you know, $700,000, or, you know, this business, how am I going to do that? I can't do that. I'm scared. And that's the fucking enemy, man. Bro, that's the voice in the back of your head, like the devil on your shoulder. So you have the angel on your shoulder, you know, he just helped you build this epic vision, and now you're talking yourself out of it already, because that's the, you know, like the enemy, so to speak. So don't think of any reason you can fail. Whatever you want, accept that it will be yours. No doubts. Just accept it'll be yours. Say, okay, wow, that's mine. I can't believe that'll be my future. And don't worry about stress or fear or how difficult that'll be to attain, but just trust that it is already obtained. Just trust it is yours. It is yours already. You don't need to work inherently hard for it. Again, it is yours already. Hold up. There's a guy over here. So again, hey, listen, just trust that whatever your goals are, they're going to happen, and do not worry about the difficulty of them. This is the one part people get caught up in, is, you know, they start thinking about, oh, well, this goal is big. How am I going to get here? You know, to get this house, that's like $1 million. How am I going to become, you know, a millionaire? Blah, 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 blah. And they start talking them out of it. But don't stress how you'll get there. Just trust that it is yours and that it will get done. Now, I had one more thing I wanted to add in. I lost my train of thought a second ago. Give me a second here. It'll come back to me. Oh, yes. Okay. So now with goals, this is an important thing to know about desire. So you guys have nothing to desire, because at this moment you are already everything that you seek to be. Now, when you desire something, let's say, oh, I wish I was rich. I wish I was a millionaire. I wish I had a Lamborghini. By declaring those things, you are speaking things into existence that aren't in alignment with yourself. And hey, listen, I know this may sound like Aristotle. You might be like, Anthony, the fuck you talking about, bro? The fuck? But no, so listen, by saying like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. I want this. I want that. You're declaring yourself to be a state that you are not. So instead of stressing about that, like, oh, I want to be a millionaire, just embody that state. Okay, like, what would it look like? No, I gotta backtrack a bit. Hold up, guys. I gotta focus here. So, as I was saying, don't feel inadequate for your current position in life because you guys probably aren't where you want to be yet. Like you're probably not having multiple millions in the bank. You're probably not super jacked. You probably don't got the supermodel girlfriend yet. That's all cool. But don't feel insignificant for that. That's my point. So listen, don't desire it. Imagine yourself. How would you be operating if those things were already true? So if you were already living your dream life, how would you be conducting yourself today? When would you wake up? When would you go to bed? What would your day-to-day look like? What work are you doing? What's your diet like? How hard are you training? How beautiful is your girlfriend? What's your relationship like with your family? Boom. So you guys already know your dream life. I made you think about that extensively, and I made you not be a little bitch and think about it to its fullest extent so you wouldn't cut yourself short. But this is the beauty of it. You just need to start operating like that person now. Say, what, Anthony? What'd you say? I got to start operating like my dream person now? What does that even mean? Okay, well, again, I just explained it to you. Make sure you guys are listening. So think of that perfect version of yourself. How are they operating? Guys, I'm getting absolutely fried, by the way. This gameplay sucks balls. But think of that perfect version of yourself. How are they operating each and every single day? And you just need to do your best to start conducting yourself like them every single day. And understand, time is only an aspect of this realm, and it's the one thing you really can't control. Like, there's just 24 hours in a day. So with that in mind, do the most of each day. Don't stress tomorrow. Don't stress a month from now. Just make the most of what you can from each day. It's a good principle from Yeshua, actually. It's, don't stress tomorrow. Like, even the lilies in the field are covered, and they're dressed beautiful. You can't be more glamorous than a fucking lily. That shit's epic, bro, That's what the Bible says. You can go look it up. I'm not capping here. But he's saying, listen, even God provides for nature. He makes them extra glamorous, the lilies in the fields. You're provided for, bro. Quit stressing. Quit being a baby out there. Now, where am I going with this? Honestly, I got a little sidetracked here because I'm just getting so freaking flamed in the game. Long story short, God provides for everything, provides for the lilies in the field, provides for the littlest of little, and you are provided for as well. So just think about what it is you want out of life and start operating from that assumption in this very moment. Whatever it is that, not that you're chasing, because reminder, if you're chasing, you are declaring that as a state that not is. So you want to think about what it is that your dream state is, start operating from that assumption in this very moment, and time will help you out. Like, there's no way it won't happen. Guys, I've done a lot in my life, and I can say, like, this stuff is factual. It's truth. And the reason it works is because, like, okay, well, if you want to make money online, you're going to start putting your time towards that. Like, if you want a six-pack in the gym, okay, I need the workouts. But on top of the workouts, you need the diet. You need the sleep. So whatever your goals are, like, it really just comes down to breaking it down. But the biggest takeaway of this video is not setting yourself short. Don't scare yourself away from a goal because it seems daunting now, and then visualizing the state that is. So if I was already at this goal, how would I be conducting myself now? And then operating from that belief in this very moment. That's really what it's going to come down to. So I'm just going to yap away for the next few minutes until this game's over. You can click off the video. Before that, leave a comment, though. Do you like these shit posts? Maybe I need to get better at some games here before we go on. I know it's a little raw, too, but I thought we would try just a new style today. I know Mark Builds Brands did something similar on his second channel just the other day as well. But, bro, I'm getting absolutely fried. on another level. But this is the thing too. I used to think you had to live like a super robotic life, and I used to feel guilty for playing some like video games in my free time, and I used to feel like I had to be productive 247. But the truth is, listen, you just need to get this shit on your to do list done, and if you can do that, you're chilling to do the stuff you want to do. And as long as you're on track to hit your goals and you're meeting the benchmarks you've set for yourself, all is good. And you shouldn't feel bad for spending some free time. And this stuff, too, like playing video games, almost like therapy in a way. It helps clear your mind where you're not thinking about work 247. And it just gives you a break to sort of dissolve a bit. So that's it for today. God bless you guys. Hope you got some value. Peace.